Hi guys, this is Dr. Daulton from Hammond Chiropractic, and today I am at Top Fuel CrossFit in Crown Point, Indiana with my friends. These are Coach Daniella and Dustin Shurlow. They're actually the owners, but I have to tell you, you're probably wondering why am I here? Well, here's what happened. You guys know that I make a lot of videos from my office, right? Well, I had this idea that I wanted to do a series of videos about proper exercise form for you guys, but I wanted to bring in experts. I didn't want to just do these on my own because obviously I'm still on my own journey, right? So I asked these guys to help me and they were kind enough to help me. But let me tell you the story here. I wanted to do a little video because I wanted us to just get a background on these guys so that you would know them as well as I know them. Now, I've known Daniella for years, and I'm talking, she's been a patient of mine in my office since she was a little kid. And her whole family comes in. Her parents come in, her brother comes in, her grandmother came in to see me. And I'll tell you, they're the nicest people you'll ever meet in your entire life. I love these guys. And actually, she still comes in to see me once a month for what we call wellness care, or some people call it maintenance care, just to kind of keep yourself in top form, okay? So that's Daniella. So Daniella, let me ask you, how long have you been doing CrossFit?
So actually tomorrow will mark 6 years. We started March 4th, 2013.
That's incredible. And you guys have always done it together, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we started together.
Wow, okay. So back then, were you just dating, or were you already married, or?
We were just dating.
You were just dating?
Yep, we were both working at just like a regular gym.
Okay.
And we heard about this new CrossFit gym opening, so we both decided to go give it a try, and we fell in love on the first day.
Oh, that's incredible. And now you guys actually own this location. You own the Crown Point location of Top Fuel CrossFit, which is incredible. Are you guys, how do you feel about that? Was that an exciting thing for you to take it over? Yeah. Yeah, and it's huge. And by the way, if you guys have never been to a they call it a box, all right? It's not called a gym. They got to be different and unique, right? But if you've never been to this location in Crown Point, you've got to come visit. It's huge. It's the biggest one I've ever seen. And you guys have a lot of people that come out to see you guys here too, don't you?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. So why don't we, for the audience, because I know that CrossFit might be new to a lot of people. How about, Justin, why don't you tell us what is CrossFit actually? Like, what makes it different from other types of exercise?
Yeah, so the basic definition of CrossFit is constantly varied functional movements performed at high intensities over different time and model domains, so functional kind of being the key there. So we're trying to do things that aren't so monostructural movements and things that you're going to be able to use down the road, squatting, pressing, different things like that. A lot of burpees, rowing, running, things like that skills and things that you don't want to lose as you age. That's kind of our main focus. And just being able to get off of a couch by yourself in the future, get off the ground if you need to in the future, things like that. So we don't focus too much on like a bench press, or we don't use machines or anything like that kind of assists that. We work a lot on the stability muscles and stuff like that through a fun class community setting.
Okay. And I love that because, with chiropractic, it's all about function also. We're trying to make sure that the body functions at its best with chiropractic adjustments. And of course, they're kind of focusing on it from an exercise perspective. But I also like what you said, because this is actually what motivated me to do this series. I have a patient, and this is incredible, because a lot of people think that if you have a back problem, you're going to feel it in your back. And really, that isn't always the case. So this patient of mine, she's a wonderful woman. Her reason for coming in to see me was that she had lost all the strength in her thighs to the point where she could not get up and down off of a toilet without help. And that's actually what made her come in. She had no back pain, nothing going on in the lower back that she could tell. And of course, most doctors are going to say, well, then you need to strengthen your muscles. But what actually ended up happening when I examined her, when we took x-rays, her spine had deteriorated so much. And here's what you have to understand. Chiropractors correct misalignments of the spine. And the reason we do that is because we want to get the pressure off of the nervous system so that the nerves work properly. But what happens is that if you don't get that corrected early enough in your lifetime, it wears the spine out faster than it actually should. And when it deteriorates, you're going to start to get some nasty bone spurs developing, and the disc is going to start to collapse in the spine. And so it becomes a much bigger problem than what it originally is. So she had gotten to the point where her spine had deteriorated so much, and there was so much pressure on the nerve, that the nerves in the back that go to the muscles in the thigh actually caused the muscle to completely waste away, and she had no strength there. So what we had to do was I had to work with her to get the pressure off the nerve again and get that corrected as much as I could. And then I had to have her start doing some exercise to rebuild that muscle. But do you see how if you don't correct the nerve first, the muscle isn't going to ever regain its full functioning. So what I do in CrossFit works very, very well together, because a lot of times my patients can come into this environment. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you're brand new or if you're, someone who's been an athlete all your life. When you come into a CrossFit gym, it's a very different experience, because they're very welcoming. They understand that everybody is at a different place in their fitness journey, and they work with you from that level. And that was my experience. When I started doing CrossFit last year, after 7 years ago, most of you know, I weighed 300 pounds. I was a huge guy. And so I had lost 80, but at the time when I was heavy, I had no desire to go to a gym whatsoever, because I felt so uncomfortable in that environment. Now, if I had known about CrossFit back then, I may have started with this, because you don't get that feeling that you don't fit in. It's such a different thing. And even I know there's been times where I've had a really, really hard workout, and I'm always, and you guys make fun of me about this, I make fun of myself about this, but I'm always the last one to finish, right? I'm basically the worst CrossFitter ever. But when you're there and you're struggling and you're working hard to try to get through that workout, everybody around you who's already finished stays and they cheer you on. I mean, it's just the coolest thing. It happens, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
One thing they say about CrossFit is, compared to other sports, is they're usually cheering for the first place person, but at CrossFit, everyone gets together and cheers the last person to finish. It's like the biggest cheer.
It's
for that
amazing.
person.
I love that. Well, and I've seen people come into CrossFit who are in their 70s and 80s. I mean, you've got such a large range of people that come in, and I find that interesting, because I know when I was going before, we had a lady who was probably in her 70s, I would guess, but I didn't know. And she came, she's not going to do the same workout that everybody else is going to do. She might not be able to lift, 500 pounds or, or whatever the case may be, but she was able to work. So you guys actually will adjust the workout for someone based on where they are with their fitness level,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say?
100%.
Yeah, it's incredible. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to introduce you to these guys. I wanted to give you a little bit of background on CrossFit, let you know how I knew them. We're going to be putting together a really great series of videos for you guys. We're going to go through all different types of exercises that you can do, and we're going to, it's going to be made for people who are just beginners with this to the more advanced type of a person who's been exercising most of their life. And we hope that you get a lot out of it. We'll be starting here pretty quickly, so I just wanted to introduce you to these guys before we get started with the video, so that way we can just get right into the information when we start, okay? All right, thank you so much for watching us, and we'll see you soon.